Okay. Cassia. Might be able to hit this guy with her third eye. From here. Can't kill him. But you can hit him. No way to stretch it that far, I don't think. Might as well go for it.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Oh. Didn't realize that guy was in the range of the lidless stare. Sure. Then we will see about getting you. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we were sort of 5 in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. Arguably, they'd be equidistant. And so it should get both.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Nope, only got one. That's fine. Lastly, hit both of them with this.
As duty demands.
You were not affected. You managed to resist? Because that should have hit both of them. So he must have resisted the willpower test. Oh well. Good enough turn anyway. Argenta. This guy's stunned. You should have an easy time killing him. And I doubt you can get over there sufficiently to do real damage. So let's just have you do an action here to shoot and kill this guy.
Faith without deed eradicated.
Then switch to your bolter and use 3 actions to reload.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
And that is a good enough turn. Heinrichs. The enemies are so far away from you. Like, I could move him forward and then try and charge, but he's still not going to get to anyone. I could charge into cover. Because this, I believe, is cover. This one is, so probably. So if we charged him into cover, then what? I can then take shots with his pistol. Maybe? I don't think this will count as an actual attack.
I need a foothold.
But even if it does, getting him farther into the fight is good. Good. Did not count as an attack. So if I decide to use the pistol, 20%. Yeah. That's not a winning shot. We could go with burst fire. 14%. But it's 8 shots. We only need 2 of them to land for him to kill this guy. I would use all of his AP. Or I could just keep doing Word of the Emperor for 1 AP, and then Shield of the Emperor for another AP. If we used it on all of us, then we would get another stack of Word of the Emperor. Probably better than him attempting a shot.
But of course, Lord Captain.
So Word of the Emperor on us, we get another stack of that, and then Shield of the Emperor. So that we all get those benefits. Increase their deflection by +1 and armor by +14. Yeah. Just keep us all a little bit safer. Well, the three of us a little bit safer.
You'll regret this.
Ignatius. I wish that cover spot was open for you, but it is not. We do have run and gun available, so I could potentially attack 2 people. So if I just threw you out into the open, you can kill that guy for sure. You can't see him. Is there a position you can go to? I doubt it. You were, say, all the way over here? You still can't see him. What if you were, like, way over here? No. Like, I think with our gun out, then we can have visual range. And yeah, it's showing that we still can't see the Electro Priest. That's a shame. So really, no matter what I do, I can only hit that guy. If you're standing where you are, you can just hit him. No need to even leave your cover.
All too easy.
Well, fine, just kill him. You used your gun from here. Can you see any of these guys? No. I know he had a shot earlier. Oh, this guy's doing the praying thing that we hated. And you're also hiding behind cover. No, I think we're kind of stuck with Ignatius. I can move forward just to move forward, so that we're better positioned next time. Which I think I will. This guy might attack, but we've already seen that the Electro Priests aren't really scary. So let's move forward. If I did a run and gun, it would give you 5 movement. 1, 2. Can you... I think you can run diagonalies. I don't know if it counts by every other. 2, 3, 4-ish. We might be able to get into cover back here with a run and gun. Or maybe if I go forward enough, I'll have a angle on him. Oh, and I still have another attack. So that must have been... We have an ability that says that sometimes... Yeah, never stop shooting. Sometimes an attack didn't cost AP. So that triggered. So let's do run and gun. Just cuz. If I went to here, I doubt I can see you. I cannot. If I was here instead, then I do have line of sight on you. So I can do a lot of damage with that. A lot less damage with that. Okay. Could do Revel and Slaughter again, which would raise my crit chance. Just in case it matters. Which I think I'm going to. So we'll Revel and Slaughter. Then do... this. Light him on fire. And I can do a second burn, because of our run and gun, to kill him. There we go. We've got these 2 guys back here. Is that it, enemy-wise? I think it might be. Good misses. Bella, what can you do? Not a whole lot. She can go here. Yeah, go there. You're hiding behind the pillar. We'll have to step out from around the pillar to get a shot at her. I can't do the jump. We could do Death Waltz. We give her 4 jumps. With 4 jumps, she can definitely get over there. Yeah. Yes, let's do that. Use her ability.
I cannot serve you in this way.
You can't? Blade dancer uses death from above against a target enemy without spending a charge. Immediately after making a melee. So I have to select an enemy in range and there isn't one. I can't just use it. Well, that's disappointing. We could do this to be more defensive. But I don't really want to cost her 11 health. Did that guy just give up his turn? Can we get to a point, Pascal, where you can see them? Probably not. No, I'm betting these coils are going to be in the way basically no matter what. If we get up to here, I think we might be able to get some line of sight. How about you go here? Does that work out better? I think line of sight is better, but I don't think we have the range. But do it anyway. Yeah, whatever. I think you just have to end your turn. Can't use this.
The order is contrary to dogmatic protocols.
Alright, Cassia. You move forward here. This hits one of them. But only one. You instead went to this side. Does that give you a different perspective? Yes, it gives you a perspective where you can't even see him. Alright. What if you weren't lining up with cover? Yeah, sure. Go here.
If I may.
Chaos guides me.
Okay. Unfortunately, I think that made it so you can't see either of them. Rounds until the reactor explodes 5. But how have I not seen that until now? Let's see. I don't think anyone is in a position to be able to get attacks. I think you're just kind of screwed. They're just out of sight. Voice of command. You can't use it on Cabela again because you already have. So I guess put it on Argenta.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
I can give Argenta a turn just to see if she's got a shot, but I'm guessing the answer is no. Do you have a shot from here? No. Not a huge surprise. Argenta, please move forward. I think we'll need a wider angle if we're going to try and have a shot. Yes, you've got a shot here.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire.
This Electro Priest is just
Strike.
problematic because he's not moving forward. He's just staying still, hiding behind a pillar. It's like, I need you to move. Run and gun. This is going to get you the shot. No. Can you throw a grenade? No. Oh well, move forward anyway.
Guided by faith.
Yeah. need you to get out from cover. I'm sure you don't have a shot either. No. So, you also try making your way around this pillar.
Curse you, miscreant!
Ignatius. Think here you'll have... Yes. You got line of sight. Ignite him, please. Good. Run and gun. Ignite him again.
Suits my purpose. Nothing of value has been lost.
There we go. Enough. Now an aged, rattling voice speaks to you from behind the bloodstained mask. You are powerless to halt the approach of what is to come. I see a crimson trail. Let's see what that says. A huge warp storm stretching across the galaxy, the result of a catastrophic rift in real space, leading humanity to its doom. I see the glow of the final dawn, and that means existence has made its choice. A dagger flashes in Aurora's hand. She drives it into the control panel with all her strength. Now you will see it too. A blinding voltaic arc bursts forth from the broken control panel and strikes at Aurora's uncanny mask. Its metal heats up, smoke billows through the bars. With a howl, the cultist collapses. The light is gone? Was that it? The final dawn? But why was it so different from what our teacher promised? Aurora shakes her head blindly. Her voice is now the voice of an ordinary middle-aged woman, frightened and in panic. You will pay for this. You will... You... The woman's body goes limp and collapses to the floor. Her iron mask hits the ground with a dull thud. Pascal examines the corpse with contempt, then concludes dryly, confirming purgation and termination. Heinrich grimaces in disgust. The heretic took her secrets with her. Pity. The Motley Hues have rejected her, leaving only a grayish-green thread. The noose that the heretic put around her own neck. I've seen this many times before. No one can escape fear itself. Heinrich approaches Aurora's body and leans over it. A minute, please, please, Ignatius. I need no more than a minute. Lord Xenos, 55. 100% chance to succeed. Inspect the control panel damaged by Aurora. Remove Aurora's mask. Observe the interrogator. Or will you be finished soon, Master Van Calix? I cannot stand being made to wait. No, we're going to do the Lord Xenos first. Interesting Xenos, because I don't see anything around here that seems Xenos related. So what are we going to determine? The cogitator is probably well beyond repair, but your attention is drawn away from the sacred machine towards the dagger sticking out of the control panel. On closer inspection, it turns out to be the lavishly decorated handguard of a sword whose blade has been pried out. Its pommel is decorated with a bit of strange adornment resembling an eye covered by a scaled lid. What remains of the blade has a blue sheen to it, the same tint as Kunrad's weapon during the mutiny on your voidship. This is no human-made object. It is grown from wraithbone, a material favored by the Eldari. An Eldari material composed of crystallized psychic energy used in the creation of everything from art pieces to craft worlds. And then Eldari, I think, are basically space elves, an ancient and highly advanced alien race that once dominated the galaxy. Yeah, that doesn't tell me much, but I think they're basically space elves. As you lean over the shard, you suddenly hear a multitude of voices. They blend together, and individual words are distorted, as though they are mocking your attempt to grasp their meaning. The nagging whisper is like the burning red scratch of an unholy claw upon your mind. Heretical will surreptitiously take the sword shard. Dogmatic Heinrich, take a look over here. Is this by any chance what you are looking for? Or Iconoclast, toss the shard into the depths of the reactor. No, we'll point it out to Heinrichs. He is a Xeno-focused interrogator, so if this is an Eldari sword, he'll know more about it than we would. Is this by any chance what you're looking for? Heinrich raises his head, gets up, and makes a wry face as he carefully examines Aurora's weapon. This unholy object is the work of inhuman hands, and judging by the cold I am sensing, it is a tool of the archenemy. I am most grateful for your vigilance, Ignatius. You were not looking at the sword that she had stabbed into the device? It just didn't even cross your mind? Okay. Heinrich takes the strange shard out of the control panel and studies it for a few seconds. Curious. Heinrich stows the corrupted object away and turns to you. Rogue Trader, on behalf of the Holy Ordos, I thank you for your cooperation and release you from requisition. From this moment on, I am at your service. I am ready to come aboard your ship and head for Footfall as soon as you deem it possible. That is, if you do not have other business in the system, in which case I am prepared to assist you in its prompt resolution. Alright, let's remove Aurora's mask. The iron helmet is firmly attached to the heretic's flesh. Her face is impossible to make out in the darkness behind the bars of her mask, but after peering at it for a little longer than necessary, you wonder if, for a moment, you saw something move. Well, that's not a great sign. If we're pretty sure she's deceased, but we can see movement underneath her mask. Don't know. Let us finish cleansing the monastery, Pascal. Executing. Let the Omnissiah given motive force flow and all obstacles in its path be eradicated. Round 4. Are we still in a fight? No. We did level up. What do we have here? Miraculous fusion reactor. That's not a huge surprise. Let's do some looting of all the bodies. Whole bunch of junk we don't care about. Anything else of interest around here? So far, no. I was expecting secret passages and the like hiding around, but seems to not be the case. And that looks like it could be a door. So far, no. We've got some control panels that we can't use. Electro Priest. Before we talk to them, we'll level up, just in case there are skill tests. Which I guess we could make a similar statement regarding looking for doors. Alright, leveling up. Ranking up again as a soldier. We get to choose a talent. So we could pick Body of Flames. Gain additional armor against fire and half this amount of additional armor against energy damage from Lasmelta and plasma weapons. Definitely cool. Soldier gains an 8% critical hit chance. This bonus is doubled against enemies from which the soldier is protected by cover at the moment of attack. When can we pick Psyker Majoris? That's level 14. We gotta be getting close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Next level, we'll be able to grab Psyker Majoris to become actually Psi Rating 2 or Psi Rating 3 when we light ourselves on fire. Very good. Well, I think I'm going to go Body of Flames. I think lighting ourselves on fire is going to be a regular starting move. And so, taking less damage. And then also less damage from other attacks. All sounds good. And then, for here, we just have Obscured Threat. 25% chance to regain AP spent on psychic powers when Veil Degradation is 10 or lower. Veil Degradation is often low. More resolvable Veil Degradation is lower, which means we could do those ultra moves more regularly. This would allow us to do psychic powers in melee, which doesn't happen very often, but it can happen. Let's see. Whenever psychic power used by the psyker deals damage, a random enemy within 2 cells from the initial target suffers damage, half of this damage. I mean, that's also nice. If we're attacking grouped up enemies, which we often are, Psyker's critical hit chance increases by 1% until the end of combat every time the Psyker deals damage by any means. Deals damage. Does that include ongoing damage from us lighting an enemy on fire? When the Psyker uses a psychic power, all enemies adjacent to the Psyker suffer 4 direct damage. Same also happens when the Psyker suffers damage from burning, bleeding, or melee attacks. When the Psyker kills or scores a critical hit against 8 creatures in one combat, Psyker's next attack, including the attacking psychic powers, will cost 0 AP and will not count towards the attack limit per turn. 8 creatures is pretty rare. We've had a few fights where we've pulled that off. Usually because Cassia uses her ability to give us a free turn with no attack limit. All damage over time effects applied by the Psyker gain 10% critical hit chance. This chance is increased by all bonuses to critical hit chance. Also tempting. So do we go with that, or do we go with obscured threat? When not in line of sight or in cover, all resistance tests of the target suffer a -8 penalty. I think out of those, I'll go with Backdraft. 3 extra damage sounds good. Cassia, what are we doing for you? There we go. Not sure why it didn't go to the level up screen first. Here we go. So she gets a talent. We've chosen most of the ones we wanted. Master over time. You make resistance tests with willpower. If it's higher than the normal test. And your wounds are calculated based off willpower. It's nice. Sure. I'm fine with that. And then skill-wise, we can't boost your coercion. We could boost your persuasion. Commerce. You're the best we have at commerce at the moment. I think Abelard might have been better. Maybe. But that's a decent choice. Persuasion is already really good. So I don't know if I necessarily need to keep boosting it. Carouse. Heinrich's is better. Abelard is definitely better at carouse. Lore Imperium. Do we not have a Lore Imperium person? I would have thought Heinrich's would be covering that, but clearly not. So Lore Imperium would also be a decent one for her. Her awareness is already fantastic. And Lore Warp is covered by Ignatius. So probably either Commerce or Lore Imperium. I think Lore Imperium is going to show up more often. Though technically our Commerce is lower. May give access to new dialogue options. Oh, they both say that. Let's go with Commerce, since Lore Imperium is slightly higher. Then our chances of success are slightly higher in that one, so... yeah. Pascal. What about you? Exposing Communion. Pascal's attacks and effects of the exposed weakness ability and gain... attacks and effects of the exposed weakness ability gain bonuses against enemies under the effects of Machine Spirit Communion, as if those enemies had 2 more stacks of exploits. Okay. We haven't necessarily been using the Spirit Communion on enemies. We often put it on ourselves. Skirmish Protocols. When he's under the effects of Machine Spirit Communion, his melee attacks deal an additional 15% damage and gain 50% armor penetration. See, that's nice. Or we can make him a better medic. I'm going to go with Skirmish Protocols. We often put him under the effect himself. And it lasts until the end of the fight, I believe. So that just means for the whole combat, he does more damage and armor pen. And then characteristics, we can't choose intelligence, because we've already done that. So perception, ballistics, or weapon skill. Probably weapon skill. Perception... Yeah, weapon skill out of those options. Argenta. Shield of Faith. Devotee gains 16% armor against attacks by demons and warp damage. Devotee's resolve is also permanently increased by 2. That is definitely tempting. People have also kicked out the idea that I agree with about giving her flame training. Now that we've gained access to some flamers. Oh, we already have flame weapon proficiency. That would just be making it use 1 less AP. So I could already give her a flamer as our second weapon. Although the bolter's nice. Sniper rifle's also nice. But I could keep the sniper rifle and give her a flamer rather than the bolter, because that also hits an area, like a close ranged area, which is kind of what the bolter does. But I think it spreads out a bit more versus the bolter that's narrower in its blast. Grenadier. First grenade use in combat does not spend AP and does not count towards the attack limit on that turn. Meh. Las weapons. Enemies suffer a 20% penalty to dodge against las weapon attacks. I think she has a long las. I don't think we have any melta weapons yet, but they're really powerful when we do get one. Same with plasma weapons. Is there a bolter? No, like a bolter expertise. Does that count as a solid projectile? 'Cause I wouldn't think so. Why is there no bolter expert? I don't know. Oh. I saw the characteristic ones and was just like, oh yeah, obviously that's a different section. No, they're just alphabetical. The reason we don't have bolter expert is because I didn't scroll up to the B's. So bolter weapon attacks gain 10% armor pen. So that's all that's doing. Not sure about that one. So do I just boost her against demons and warp stuff? I could. So yeah, the idea with flamers though is that we've got a lot of things that I've seen that help against area attacks, whatever they call it. Soldier's second attack action in a turn deals 17% more damage to enemies that have not suffered damage from the soldier during this turn. Yeah, all the soldiers' area attacks gain 23% armor penetration, ignore 3 deflection when used against enemies, and a 3 cell radius around the target. Things like that, which don't apply to burst fire, but would apply to a flamer or grenades. Enemies damaged by the soldier's area attack suffer 4 damage for the next attack that hits them. Same idea. That's rapid fire no longer reduces damage. We have rapid fire, right? Is that this one? Yeah. Okay, we use rapid fire, so it did not have the 25% damage penalty. Yeah, we'll go with that. I think that's better than just shielding against demons. Although, now I might just still choose the Shield of Faith option. Yeah. Let's do it. Shield of Faith is fine. Heinrichs, what are we going to do with you? You have a lot that I marked as good. First time that momentum reaches 200 during the psyker's turn, the psyker gains +5 to all characteristics, +1 to resolve, and +1 deflection, and +1 to all damage the psyker deals until the end of combat. We are regularly getting momentum up. Sometimes we spend it before it quite reaches 200, but we could make it a focus, and then Heinrichs will just keep getting more and more powerful. Psychic power has a 25% chance. Regain AP spent on them when Veil Degradation is low. That is harder because he raises Veil Degradation so much. Psyker's attacks do poison, could be good. Whenever an effect applied by the Psyker increases the damage suffered by a target, this effect is increased by half. Allowing us to re-heal from lethal damage. I don't know. Definitely tempted by Eternal Glory. We can't give him Psyker Majoris yet either. That's another thing that next turn we'll grab. We could also get Stabilizing Factor, which reduces the Veil Degradation for all of his abilities, which is very tempting. I think I shall do that, because I was just shocked by how much his powers were raising the Veil Degradation. Alright, and for skills for you, Athletics, you are the best person we have for that. Coercion, we don't need you for. Demolition, we don't need you. Medicae. Lord Xenos, you're the best for that as well. And Lord Warp, we don't need you for. So... he's already got a +20 listed there. That changed it to a +10. What? What? Not really sure what the deal is there, but let's boost athletics then. That'll get it to 60. This is either 50 or 70. It's kind of hard to say. Definitely 50 +20. Don't understand. It's fine. What are we doing with you? I have nothing marked as good for you. That is disappointing. Death-Cult Assassin's allies deal more damage to enemies if both the ally and their target stand in blood cover cells. We have struggled to get blood covering more. Creature with the Blood Blessed or Bloodstain effect gains 1 stack of this effect whenever bleeding, burning, or toxin is inflicted on it. Creatures with blood blah 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 whenever they suffer damage. It's definitely tempting. And that's it for... yeah. That's it for the Blade Dancer abilities. Dual weapon combat. The character can attack with a second weapon in their current weapon set, in addition to the usual 1 attack per round. This attack suffers a -20 penalty to weapon skill and ballistic skill, and costs +1 AP more. Well, she typically does have 2 weapons. And her weapon skill is pretty decent. It's not actually that great, but she rarely misses an attack. So taking 20% off to get a second attack feels like it could be good. What does dual weapon specialist get? It requires dual weapon combat, obviously. And melee weapon specialist. Do you have melee weapon specialist? You do not. The sweep ability of an axe and the shove ability of a hammer or mace cost 1 AP less, but no less than 1. Really? She doesn't use... she, by definition, uses blades. Like swords. I think she has to use swords. And so in order to get dual weapon specialization, she has to take a feature that doesn't help with swords. An additional attack with the second weapon suffers no penalties or increased costs if the first attack was either a sweep ability of an axe or a shove ability of a hammer or mace. Oh, well, she just wouldn't bother even taking that, because that just doesn't help her. Combat Master would help if she gets surrounded by melee characters, but that rarely happens because we just kill things too fast. Yeah. I think I'll go with Wound Streaming Blood, just in the hope that we can get enemies more bloodstained. And then your skills. We've got athletics for you, but you're clearly not our athletics person. Awareness. Carouse you actually do have a decent amount of, and coercion we don't need. Out of these, Carouse is the only one that she has a reasonable chance of being our best. No, Heinrich's at 65. Although I don't know if we're going to use Heinrich's all the time. We might choose Abelard, but then Abelard still is better at Carouse. Athletics getting it up to 40 just doesn't seem worth it with Heinrich's there, and Abelard. None of these matter. We'll go with Carouse. Why not? Some of these abilities don't seem to matter overly much, what choice I make.
A new challenge for me?